Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is PJs and Pages, and I'm Danielle, and here we talk about all things bookish. And today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be doing a book haul. And this is an oopsie book haul. Like, I should not have this many books. I just recently did a book haul, and I cannot believe that I've acquired this many books after that one. So I am on a serious book buying ban. Like, this is a wake-up call, just so you know. But I am going to share them with you. 3 of the books I did not buy, but I don't know if you can tell. This is the stack of books. Like, can we zoom in on the? Yeah, that's the books. I did not mean to buy that many books. Yeah, so definitely have a haul for you today, and I'm gonna get started with the ones that I did not buy. So, and some of these I think I have like shown on some of my vlogs when I got them, but I'm just gonna go through everything that I bought since my last haul, and the ones that I got for free. So when I was in Greenville, I purchased a book and I spent $25 on both my son's book and my book, and they said that I could grab something from the free cart because I purchased $25. And basically the free cart had a bunch of like arcs and damaged copies of books that they were getting rid of. And this one, I mean, like, there's a damage. That's the damage. That was it. And it's a whole dang book. This is Wool by Hugh Howell, and it is the first book in the Silo series. I believe, yeah, it's been made into a TV show on Apple TV, and I have heard about it. Don't know much about it, but apparently it is the story of mankind clawing for survival. The world outside has grown toxic, the view of it limited, talk of it forbidden. The remnants of humanity live underground in a single silo, but there are always those who hope and who dream. These are the dangerous people, the residents who infect others with their optimism. Their punishment is simple. They are given the very thing they want. They are allowed to go outside. After the previous sheriff leaves the silo in a terrifying ritual, Juliet, a mechanic from the down deep, is suddenly and inexplicably promoted to the head of law enforcement. With newfound power and with little regard for the customs she is supposed to abide, Juliet uncovers hints of a sinister conspiracy. Tugging this thread may uncover the truth, or it could kill every last human alive. So sci-fi, sounds a little dystopian too. Excited to read it at some point. It is a big book. Like, this is over 500 pages. So don't know when I'll get to it, but it was free, so I went ahead and I picked it up. Then, while I was in Greenville, my aunt also gifted me some things. So she got me this lovely Jane, it's not a book, but it's a coloring book. A Jane Austen coloring book, and it is so beautiful. It's got like quotes from her books. I don't know if you can see it. Quotes from her books and these lovely coloring pages. This one has parasols on it. There's little hats and masks, cottages and candles, and it's just very cute. Dresses, feathers, the whole thing. It's very cute. I can't wait to color this. Coloring is one of my other many cozy hobbies, and yeah, I haven't colored in a while, but this is inspiring me to color. And then she also got me, I haven't even opened it yet to see what it looks like exactly. This is a diamond painting. I've never done any diamond painting, but this is a book with diamond painting. So it is The Wizard of Oz, and it's got these fun little blingies that you're supposed to put onto the numbers, and it makes it look like that. How fun is that? So I've never done diamond painting. This looks like it could kill my eyes, but might be worth it. And I don't have a copy of The Wizard of Oz, and I actually wanted to read it with my son, so this might be something fun to do and then read with my son. He's obviously not going to be doing diamond painting. He's 2.5. But I can do the diamond painting and then read the book with him. That could be a lot of fun. So that is The Wizard of Oz by Frank L. Baum, and Wool, and a coloring book. So those are my free books. I didn't pay for those. They don't count. Here starts the stack of shame, because I need to be shamed for this. So The first book I picked up was when I was in Greenville. I stopped in the independent bookstore for Indie Bookshop Day, and I picked up a signed first edition of Wandering Stars. If you haven't watched my, I think it's my first reading vlog, I started to read, is it called There by Tommy Orange, and I absolutely loved that book. It was so good, and it reignited my love for literary fiction again. So this is the sequel, and it's actually like, it seems like it's gonna be half historical fiction, half literary fiction. It's following the events that happen at the end. One of those family members, they're like ancestors, and then I don't know how to explain it very well, but basically, Colorado, 1864, star, a young survivor of the Sand Creek Massacre, is brought to the Fort Marion prison castle, where he is forced to learn English and practice Christianity by Richard Henry Pratt, an evangelical prison guard who will go on to found the Carlisle Indian Industrial School, an institution dedicated to the eradication of Native history, culture, and identity. A generation later, Star's son Charles is sent to the school, where he is brutalized by the man who was once his father's jailer. Under Pratt's harsh treatment, Charles clings to the moments he shares with a young fellow student, Opal Viola, as the two envision a future away from the institutional violence that follows their bloodlines. So Opal Viola, if you're not aware, is one of the characters from the mentioned in There. So, in a novel that is by turns shattering and wondrous, Tommy Orange has conjured the ancestors of the family readers first fell in love with in There, warriors, drunks, outlaws, addicts, asking what it means to be the children and grandchildren of massacre. Wandering Stars is a novel about epigenetic and a generational trauma that has the force and vision of a modern epic, an exceptionally powerful new book from one of the most exciting writers at work today, and soaring confirmation of Tommy Orange's monumental gifts. So I actually, when I got the book, I started reading it, so I read the prologue and the first chapter, and then I had lots of other books, so I put it down, but already phenomenal writing, and I am so excited to continue reading this. I'm not sure when I will get to it, but it's going to be soon, because I keep thinking about it. Next up, I got this on International Book Day, National Book Day, I don't know, one of those. I went to Barnes & Noble's that day, and I vlogged about it as well. This is The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind by Jackson Ford. It is about a girl named Tegan Frost who has telekinetic powers, and the government is basically using her to send her on missions, and I think she's pretty young, because all she wants to do is kick back, have a beer, and pretend she's normal. So then a body turns up at the site of her last job, murdered in a way that only someone like Tegan could have pulled off. She's got 24 hours to clear her name, and it's not just her life at stake. If she can't unravel conspiracy in time, her hometown of Los Angeles will be the crosshairs of an underground battle that's on the brink of exploding. So it sounds like it's going to be action-packed, kind of superhero-y. It was in the sci-fi section. I've been loving sci-fi lately. The cover is just very nostalgic. I don't know if you can see, there's all these little things around it, and I really liked the look of it. I liked the name is impactful as well, so I picked that one up, and another chunker that I'm not sure when I'm going to get to, but I will be getting to it. Next up is Helter Skelter, the true story of the Manson murders. I picked this one up while I was in Barnes & Noble's. I've been looking for some nonfiction that I would actually enjoy, and this one I've been interested in picking up since I read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This is one of the books that the book club read, and it follows the story of the murders that happened in 1969 in California, the Tate LaBianca murders, and the Charles Manson cult. So this is about the trial and how he built this case from what a defense attorney dismissed as only 2 fingerprints and Vince Bugliosi. So it's all about the case that led to the arrest of the Manson murders. So it's also a really long book. Holy cow. The afterword, let's see what comes before the afterword. Although I like to read the afterword always. It is 636 pages without the afterwards, so, but it's floppy. We like us a floppy book. Yeah. So, Helter Skelter, don't know when I'm going to get to it, but because I think that in November, when I pick up a nonfiction, it's going to be stamped from the beginning because I've already started it. But I don't know, maybe I'll read nonfiction outside of November. Shocker, I know. Anyway, next up is one that I keep seeing all over BookTube and Instagram, and that is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Now, I was on the fence about this because it's about like people in a very toxic relationship, but I've seen booktubers that I really resonate with their reviews, and they highly recommend it and love it. So, and I don't mind like messy characters and toxic people as long as it's like, I don't know. I don't mind it sometimes. I think I have to be in the mood for it. So when I'm in the mood for some toxic relationships, and this has been compared to like Gossip Girl, and I binged Gossip Girl. It was a good binge watch. So maybe this is what this will be like for me. And I picked up just the first book. I didn't pick up the whole series, just the first book, just to try it out and see what I think about it. This one, in case you are not aware, follows self-involved and mildly neurotic London socialite Magnolia Parks, and BJ Ballantyne is Britain's most notorious and photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But these two are meant to be, and everyone knows it. So years after all of this stuff, their dysfunction is catching up with them, pulling at their seams and fraying the world they've built, but they're not ready to let go, not yet at least. And as the cracks start to show and secrets begin to surface, Magnolia and BJ are forced to face the formidable question they've been avoiding all their lives. How many loves do you really get in a lifetime? So, really interested to read this one. It does sound like it could be up my alley. This one is not one I'm planning on reading anytime in the near future. I did recently read it, and this is the sequel to, I can't remember what the first book is called. Crave. So this, I got Crave, the soft cover. I've been waiting for all of the copies to come out in soft cover because I did not want them in hardcover. They're larger books. They're YA, but they're thick. They're fast reads though, and I want to have the collection just because I do enjoy them. They're kind of like candy. You just eat them up. They're junk food. They're book junk food, and I really enjoy them. So, Crush by Tracy Wolff. That one is following, well, in Crave, you get this teenage girl. Her parents die, and she is sent to live with her uncle in Alaska. He's got this boarding school, and all is not as it seems at this boarding school. And it is quickly revealed that this is a boarding school for supernatural creatures. And I'll let it take it from there. So she is supposed to be a normal girl in a school of werewolves, vampires, shifters, witches, all of that. So it's a fun time, and this is the second book that follows the events of the first book, so I won't get into what it's about. Next up is one of my subscription box picks. This is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. She is the one who wrote the Bear and the Nightingale series, which I have not started yet, but I've been very interested in it. This one is more like a historical fantasy where it takes place during, if I'm not mistaken, is it World War I? Yeah, like World War I type war. January 1918. Laura Ivan was a revered field nurse. Okay, here we go. Let's read the short blurb. During the Great War, a combat nurse searches for her brother believed dead in the trenches despite eerie signs that suggest otherwise in this hauntingly beautiful historical novel with a speculative twist. So this is a beautiful edition. This is not the original cover. I don't think it has the original cover on the back. Oh. No, it doesn't have the original cover on the back. But it is a beautiful edition. And then it's got, it's kind of like this matte cover. If you've ever done an aardvark box, it kind of feels like the aardvark books. So that's pretty cool. And it's got this beautiful Ghosts Have Warm Hands logo on the front. The blessed forget and the damned remember. Interesting. I don't know what that's about. It just got this beautiful alternate cover. And then inside, it's got an alternate cover with character art, which I'm not a fan of using character art as my covers, but it's always nice to look at. It does have these beautiful end pages that have violins. So apparently violins are going to take place in this book because it keeps coming up. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It does have sprayed edges, not stenciled, just sprayed. They're like this beautiful burgundy color, like a Merlot, if we're being fancy. Yeah, I am excited about this book. This was on kind of my anticipated list. It sounds like something I would really enjoy. So I was glad to get it. Owlcrate really knocks it out of the park with their book selections. I don't always love the, how shall we put it, the way that they do the special editions, but the picks are phenomenal. So honestly, if I go back to having the subscriptions, Owlcrate will probably be one of the ones that I do go back to. Next up, we've got my Red Tower obsession continues. I did not pick up their latest one, I read the arc of it and I did not like it, so I didn't get it. I did not get an arc of this one, but I'm willing to try it because it's Red Tower, and really they've only had one book that I don't like. This one is called Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolf, and honestly, I have no idea what it's about. I just know it was by Red Tower and it's romantasy. So this one is, honestly, even reading the blurb, I don't know what this is about. I'm going to go into this one blind. I like not knowing what it's about. It does have a beautiful foiled cover and gorgeous, I don't know if you can see them, but it's got these beautiful sprayed edges. And they actually go all the way around. So beautiful sprayed edges on this one. They really, the quality of the Red Tower books, honestly, besides Iron Flame, have been phenomenal. I think they do a really great job with it. Oh, and then look at the end pages. Oh, so pretty. So I don't know what this one's about, honestly, so I don't know how high up on my list it goes. But she streams cozy video games on Twitch TV and Sweaty Hug. Oh no, that is her thing. Okay, she loves slow burning romances, cool fight scenes, and tea. I mean, we could be friends. So maybe I do want to prioritize this. I don't know. I'm going to put it in my maybe prioritize list. This is another one I picked up in a reading. I showed this one off in my most recent reading vlog. This is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And this is a sci-fi about Rosemary Harper, who joins the crew of the Wayfarer. There's a motley crew of beings. They're not even all human. Basically, they're offered the job of a lifetime to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. If they survive the long trip through war-torn space without endangering any of the fragile alliances that keep the galaxy peaceful, they will basically earn enough money to live a lifetime of happiness. But Rosemary isn't the only person on board with secrets to hide, and the crew will soon discover that space may be vast, but spaceships are very small indeed. This is a Hugo Award winner for a best series. I didn't buy the rest of the series because I, A, didn't realize it was a series, and B, I want to find out whether I'm going to enjoy it first before I buy the rest of the series. So, but I have heard wonderful things about this, and it is talked about all over the place when you look into sci-fi booktube. So definitely want to give this one a try. Next up is another one I picked up in another vlog. This is Alice by Christina Henry. I found this one at Walmart in one of the cheap bins, and it is a horror that is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. And Christina Henry's Alice takes the darker elements of Lewis Carroll's original, amplifies Tim Burton's cinematic reimagining of the story, and adds a layer of grotesquerie from her own alarming, fecund imagination to produce a novel that reads like a Jacobean revenge drama crossed with a slasher movie. Sounds like so much fun. I'm so excited about this one. I don't know if I want to save it for Halloween. I might want to read it sooner. It's really short. It's going to be a fun ride, I can tell. So really excited about this one. And I actually haven't heard anyone ever talk about it. So I'm hoping that's not a bad thing. Next up is another Red Tower release that came out in May. So Heavenbreaker came out in May, and so did this one. This is Five Broken Blades by Mia Cordlin, and I actually have heard a lot of really good publicity for this one already. So this one is being like talked about as if it is the next adult Six of Crows, which I'm really excited about. And basically it's a group of people that are getting together to try to assassinate the king, if I'm not mistaken, who's like this evil king. And they are each 5 killers, and so who can you trust? Only one of them can take the crown, so it should be interesting. It is another beautiful copy. So first of all, this cover is gorgeous. I love it, but it also has a gorgeous foils cover, naked hardback, and then it's got these beautiful end pages, and of course the Red Tower signature sprayed edges. There we go. Ooh, here we go. Let's see it like this. Can we see it like this? I don't know if you can tell, there's like a little assassin right here, and there's like the sun. It's so beautiful, so beautifully done, and like the way it lays flat. It's just, oh, so well done. Well done, Red Tower. Well done. Even if the books are not phenomenal, the quality is just top notch. Like, people need to step it up. I have actually heard really good things about this, though. I know Carrie can read read it, and she really enjoyed it, and she's pretty picky about her books, so I'm really excited to pick that one up. Next up is my aardvark picks. I got The Garden by Claire Beans. This is a horror, if I'm not mistaken. 1948, Irene Willard, who's had 5 previous miscarriages in a quest to give her beloved husband the child he desperately desires, is pregnant again. She comes to an isolated house-cum-hospital in the Berkshires run by a husband and wife team of doctors who are pioneering a cure for her condition, and warily enlists herself in their efforts to rectify the maternal environment, both physical and psychological. While there, she discovers a long-forgotten walled garden on the spacious grounds, a place imbued with its own powers and pulls. As the doctor's plans begin to crumble, Irene and her fellow patients make a desperate bid to harness the power of the garden for themselves, and must face the incalculable risks associated with such incalculable rewards. So this is supposed to be like body horror and has to do with motherhood and things like that. So I was intrigued right away. That cover is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I've never read anything else by this author, but I am leaving it up to Aardvark to pick some really good ones. I've had some pretty good luck with Aardvark books. So also from Aardvark, I got Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. He's a pretty popular author. This is a sci-fi horror, and it is, actually, I don't want to know too much about it. I'm just going to read the 3-sentence thing. An abandoned planet, a hidden past, a deadly danger. I like it already. It takes place in space, from what I understand. Like, it's a ghost, it's like a space station, and it's been like abandoned or something like that. And they're trying to figure out what happened, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's like a murder on the loose or something. So very excited about this one as well. Next up, we've got Funny Story by Emily Henry. I actually got a signed copy, which is very exciting. I do love Emily Henry. I think this year is not the year that I'm going to read this one, because I have a backlog of her books that I need to get through. I think this year I'm going to be reading Book Lovers, but Funny Story is, the premise sounds like it might be my favorite one of hers yet. So it follows, I can't remember the characters' names, Daphne, who moves to this town, with her fiance Peter, and then her fiance Peter ends up realizing that he still has feelings for his childhood sweetheart, his best friend Petra. Petra is in a relationship with someone, so messy. So Petra and Peter go off on their merry way, leaving poor Daphne and Miles single and alone in this town. And so Daphne is basically stranded in this town that she did not grow up in, and she ends up becoming roommates with Miles, Petra's ex, and they kind of have like, I think they're supposed to be a fake relationship. Yeah. They end up like faking their relationship to show that they're totally fine, and Petra and Peter can do whatever they want, whatever, we're cool, like we're together now, it's all good. So, but it's a fake relationship, so fake dating, and from what I've heard, he's like a very realistic man, and I like that. I have a feeling I'm gonna really love this one. So when I heard the premise, I was really excited about it. It sounds more up my alley than Happy Place does. So I'm more excited about it than I was about Happy Place for sure. And I have not read Happy Place yet either, but I do plan on it at some point here in the near future. Anywho, next up we've got my special edition boxes. This one was, is this the Illumicrate? This is the Illumicrate special edition of To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. It is a stunner. It is so beautiful. The cover is gorgeous. I have not read it. I've heard mixed reviews about it, so I think it's just one of those things where I have to read it to find out whether I like it or not. This is, she has power over death, he has power over her. When two enemies strike a dangerous bargain, will they end a war or ignite one? So it sounds like it might be enemies to lovers romantasy. Chinese and Romans. Interesting. Okay. For as long as young Ruying has been alive, the empire of Erlang has been occupied by Romans who mercilessly defeated the magic of her people. Now the invaders' advanced science, technology, and military make them gods, but Ruying is special, having been blessed by death and born with the ability to pull life out of mortal bodies. When Antony, the second prince of Rome, uncovers Ruying's power, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will be protected. Can Ruying trust this prince whose promises of a better world make her heart ache and whose smiles make her pulse beat faster? Are the evils of their agreement really in the service of a much greater good, or will she betray her entire nation to guard those she loves most? I don't know. That sounds fantastic. I think it sounds great. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. And this is the Illumicrate Evernight. I'm not sure about this one. I love what they did with the cover. I think it kind of looks like Archie comics type cover. I love it. I think it's phenomenal. The edges are beautiful. Let me see. Yeah, I like the naked hardback is like this little map. It's all pink, which makes me happy because pink is my favorite color. But it's a horror, so pink horror. Interesting. Yeah, we've got like comic style end pages. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds interesting. April and Eddie have taken a wrong turn, and now they're on a long dark road late at night when they see a woman up ahead, clearly in trouble. They stop and pick her up. It's only once she's in the car that they see the blood, and then headlights appear in the distance, racing toward them at speed, and at long last the woman speaks, "I'm sorry, he's coming." When April and Eddie are trying to escape this time, their terrifying adventure is only just beginning. The hitchhiker's injuries prove fatal, and the couple are trapped in the small town of Cold Lake Falls, prime suspects in the eyes of the local police. It turns out that this isn't the first victim to die on this stretch of road, and it isn't the first time that survivors have seen something that can't be explained. But to get out of town, April and Eddie are going to have to drive down that haunted stretch of road one more time. So this is Murder Road by Simone St. James. I have only read one other Simone St. James book before, and I've got to say, I didn't love it. I found a lot of people love this book. I can't remember, The Sundown Motel. Lots of people love it. I found it to have quite a few plot holes. I thought that the vibe was great. I was disappointed a little bit in the ending. And I also I found that there were plot holes. There was stuff that started and then dropped off and was never talked about ever again. And it kind of disappointed me. So I'm going to give this one a try. Hopefully I like this one. And if I do, maybe I'll try some of her other books because she has a pretty extensive backlist, if I'm not mistaken. She's got a couple of other books. So, and she worked in television before she started writing books, which is interesting. So I'm going to give it a shot and see what I think. I do think that they did a lovely job with the cover on this one. And, oh my God, that's it. I finally finished. Okay, so that is my unacceptable book haul. There's no reason I should have that many books after my previous book haul so soon. I am on a book buying ban, my friends. So remind me when I'm doing my vlogs, don't buy no more books, Danielle, because you don't need any. I have way too many unread books to be buying more books. So that is it for today's video, and hope you enjoyed that. If you have read any of these books, please let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on them were, which ones I need to prioritize reading right away, and I will see you in the next video.